You know what I always found interesting about Dark Souls 2? Its beginning. Or more precisely, how unspectacular its beginning is. There's no boss in the first area or any other exciting thing that hooks you right away. You can go into these small rooms, fight some weak enemies, learn the controls and jump to your death like a total idiot. But that's it more or less. And yet I still like Dark Souls 2 introduction quite a bit. One reason for that is that I really enjoy the atmosphere here. The other and more important reason, after a few minutes you have completed this area anyway and you can go to the next one. Majula. And God is it beautiful. Majula is Dark Souls 2 hub area. Here you can level up by talking to this lady, get your weapons and armor repaired or reinforced by this blacksmith and buy some stuff from this dude. It's a safe place where you can get some rest after finishing a tough area. So in a way it's your home in the game. And it's a good thing that this location which you visit so often has such a great design. Majula actually looks like a place where I would love to go on vacation. And the soft slow background music helps a lot to give it a peaceful but also melancholic and slightly sad atmosphere. I just love the whole vibe of this place. Just look at the Emerald Herald, that is this woman, standing in front of the seemingly endless ocean. That is such an awesome and poetic picture. Just like the sad guy sitting in front of the statue. This character is basically the personification of the mood of Majula. It's the way he talks, the calmness and deep sadness in his voice that make him such a good representation of this area.
The flame you see there is a bonfire. They exist all across the land, beacons to we undead.
And I always like characters who tell you about places you're going to visit in the game.
Aid's Tower of Flame lies beyond the far gate.
That always makes me excited about the journey that awaits me.
But I think it works better when these places appear a bit later in the game. He's just talking about the first two areas you can go to, so it's not as effective in hyping you up as it could be in my opinion. What was really good in hyping me up though was this big hole. Not only can you not get down to the bottom of it at the beginning of the game because the falling damage kills you, but you can't even make out what's down there. This creates an intriguing little mystery pretty much from the start of the game. And because this mystery is set up so early in your journey, the act of finally discovering what is down there later in the game feels so exciting and satisfying. One thing that can help you to get to the bottom of the hole is this ring, which decreases the falling damage you take. You can buy it from this talking cat. And I have to say, this cat is probably one of my favorite characters in Dark Souls 2. One of the most important reasons for that is her voice, and a great performance from her voice actress.
Are you going to see the old ones? Those four who have grown so incredibly ancient. They must have sprouted quite a thick coat of moss by now.
You really buy that this character just doesn't give a shit about anything. According to the Emerald Herald, she's actually an ancient being, which explains her attitude. This cat, or whatever she really is, lived for so long and saw so many things in life fade away that something like the personal tragedy of this guy seems like an insignificant little joke to her.
Have you made friends with the man by the sea? He has lost everything. Absolutely everything.
But enough of the characters, let's talk about the best thing Majula has to offer. The Victor Stone. At the Victor Stone you can actually make Dark Souls 2 harder. Of course I want to do that, I'm a fucking pro.
So fucking easy.
So fucking easy. Oh, fuck. Okay, no, maybe it wasn't such a good idea. There are two more things I would like to talk about. The first thing is these three small deranged pig creatures. I'm not sure why they're here, to be honest. Maybe there's a reason for their existence lore-wise, but I don't really believe that. What is a bit interesting about them is that they are a strong contrast to the beauty and peacefulness of the rest of Majula. They are the only reminder here of the danger and darkness of Dark Souls 2 world. Well then, this dude. And maybe that's the reason why they were added to this place, to be a symbolic contrast, but I'm not too sure about that. So we come to the last thing on my list. The mansion. It's a pretty small mansion, so there's not that much to talk about, but there are two things worth bringing up. One of them is this map of Drang Lake, that's the kingdom in which Dark Souls 2 takes place by the way, which is carved into the floor. The owner of this mansion, who is also the one who gives you the key for it, is actually a cartographer, but according to him the map was already there before he moved in, which gives the whole thing a mysterious touch. Even more mysterious is that after completing various tasks, like killing this boss for example, little flames appear on the map. The reason for that is never really explained as far as I know, which I actually rather like. I think it can be good to leave certain things in your game's lore to the imagination of the player. It creates a feeling that they're aware and are things happening in the world of the game that you're just not aware of, and as a consequence of that, the lore may seem bigger and more complex in the player's head than it actually is. The second thing I wanted to bring up about the mansion is this room with all the books. You know, maybe I'm just weird, but in my first playthrough I always thought you could later interact with this gigantic opened book. The way it just stands there always gave me the impression that it's super important, but that's sadly not the case. I actually thought that maybe you find an item later that lets you enter a secret area here similar to the painted world of Ariamis in Dark Souls 1, but nope. That's one of the things that actually bothered me quite a bit about Dark Souls 2. There are no awesome secret areas like in Dark Souls 1 or 3. There were several things that Dark Souls 2 did not do as well as its predecessor. But one area where this game succeeded quite often was in creating great looking locations. And Majula was one of those.